President Biden gave an address, and the address just did not equate at all. It was so imbalanced, so redundant. You talk about manufacturing and creating manufacturing jobs, but and how the Americans are becoming more and more prevalent in putting manufacturing as a priority and having opportunities to essentially reinvigorate manufacturing in the U.S. Well, that still doesn't negate the fact that the U.S. only exports U.S. military aircraft materials and aircrafts overall, aircrafts. Even though the unemployment rate is still at 3%, 3.4%, the lowest, and just because the employment rate is low, you're negating that cost of living is high. So it don't matter if wages are rising, if prices are rising along with it or exceeding, then it doesn't equate. There's no effect. So you're making these baseless claims and blanketed statements. The inflation is here. Employment can be here. Employment can be here, but the inflation is here. So people's lifestyles aren't really impacted or truly affected by the unemployment being the lowest in any administration. Nobody cares. That's worthless. That's a worthless fact. It's artificial. And then you also get up there and you get that same redundant, Biden gives that same redundant speech about having to talk. I don't know who wrote that, but that's his favorite bars. That's his favorite act. That is his favorite role to play, the talk. Okay, so you redundant about the talk and how the kids need to get home safe and back to their families, and the kids need to get home safely. But what have you passed? What's being signed? Another baseless statement, claim. You want them to sympathize. You want racist, prejudice, discriminatory people to feel emotional in a moment about a speech about how white folks don't never have to get a talk. I ain't never had to get to talk to my children. Nobody I know had to get their kids to talk. You know why? Because of prejudice. The talk is going to continue to happen because of the U.S. education system. There is no amendments being made to the education system. Racism has continued to being taught. Stop with the redundancy. It's asinine for Biden to repeat the same. It's a poem at this point. What are you signing after? What's being put into law, into legislation to criminalize and penalize and convict every instance when a child ain't able to go home safely? To give incentives to think humanely. So the speech don't mean nothing. The manufacturing is worthless. And what is the manufacturing without no ingenuity? Manufacturing has to be more inclusive, meaning black people. Black people have to participate and be involved in order for America to be a powerhouse. America depends on Black Americans since its inception. So stop with the debauchery with this. That addressed a bunch of nothing. It was a huddle. That's all it was, a huddle up. Oh, we can do it. We got everything we need. We got it. And when you leave the huddle, nobody is in pursuit of any of the things that you said in the huddle. You just got everybody hyped up and inspired in the moment. But that inspiration ain't gonna carry and realize itself into real reconstruction.